Hello, and welcome back to another Chris McPherson Show World Cup Daily, our last one for February, for the 28th of February. And wow, we've got quite a bit to unpack as spin, pressure, and a proper scrap unfolded in Colombo overnight as England edged New Zealand in a game that swung late and left a few things open in terms of the World Cup T20 semi-finals race. In Hobart, Australia's women went up 2-0 against India thanks to a strong chase led by another new face at the top. And on the horizon, we've got Pakistan with one last miracle shot against Sri Lanka to try and boost that net run rate and stumble and scrape their way into the World Cup semi-finals. But as always, if you're enjoying the show and you like staying up to date with your cricket information, make sure to hit like on the video, hit subscribe on the channel, and get involved in those comments. Let us know who you think is going to take out the World Cup from here. It's essentially a race in 5. But as I said, there's plenty to unpack, so let's get straight into that. Let's start with England up against New Zealand, and England finally bank a statement win, even if it doesn't really change where they sit on the ladder, but it is certainly momentum and belief as they head to the semi-finals. New Zealand, they're 159 for 7 in their batting innings. Glenn Phillips top scoring with 39 from 28. Also contributed, as he does so well in the field. Tim Seifert gave them some early momentum with a 35 as the power play punch set the platform for what looked like it could be a competitive total. England's squeeze, though, was built on spin. Will Jacks 2 for 23, including the key wicket of Glenn Phillips to kill off any late acceleration. Adil Rashid, Liam Dawson and Rayan Ahmed kept it sticky, and England leaned into the spin hard. For England, it was early chaos again. Phil Salt fell early to Matt Henry's movement. Josh Buttler hit rock bottom after another failure. England were basically chasing without their senior opener again. The stabiliser this time, though, was Tom Banton, as he settled in with 33 from 24 that kept them alive through a messy middle overs period. The finish then that flipped the game and steered England home to a wonderful win. Will Jacks 32 not out, guiding the chase home, didn't blink and was calm and composed when it got silly late. Rayan Ahmed, in his first game of the tournament, supplied the bang-bang moment, taking down Glenn Phillips, and then went after Mitchell Santner with reverse sweeps and some clean strokes. The key moment when England was still chasing 43 off 18 and looked in trouble at 117 for 6. Then Rayan and Jacks detonated the chase with a massive over that basically ended New Zealand's control and showed that there's plenty of wag in the tail of this English side. The way it plays out from here, though, it means England carries some momentum into the semi-finals, which is going to be great for their confidence, while New Zealand are still heavily favoured to go through, but they're now sweating Pakistan's net run rate as Pakistan take on Sri Lanka. Next up, we've got the Australian women and the Indian women clashing in their second ODI. In the big picture, Australia flex their ODI muscles again. Chase completed in the 37th over. They now lead the ODI leg of the series 2-0. For India, 251 for 9 looked a touch short, but Pratika Rawal made 52. Her big moment, though, a run out. Platform was damaged by her self-inflicted wicket just when she looked to be getting going. Harmanpreet Kaur steady with 54 as well, rescuing them from what looked like a middle over slide. But the collapse period hurt, as it has done for India in these one days. 5 wickets for 52 through the middle overs stopped any real chance of them pushing towards that 280 to 300 score. For Australia, the key bowlers, Ash Gardner took 2 wickets, including removing Smriti Mandana again. She started to get a real edge there over the Indian gun. Alana King and Annabelle Sutherland chipped in, while Nicola Carey was back in the 11. But for Australia, their chase, 252 for 5. They did it reasonably easy. Phoebe Litchfield, 80, super aggressive early, dominated the power play, set the tone, and got Australia into a really strong position early. And then Georgia Vole, 101, her second ever one-day international century, both of those having come against India. She bounced back hard after a golden duck last match. She cashed in on some drops and made it hurt. India's fielding was certainly costly, speaking of drops. Vole was put down twice, 19 and 53. 3 times if you count the ball where she was dropped on 99 as well, and cantered through for a single to bring up her 100. The game was basically gone once that happened. The third one, the game was already long gone at that point. Alyssa Healy only made 6, but it didn't matter, with the second wicket steal doing all the damage as Litchfield and Vole steered Australia to a strong position that the others could bring home. It now means Australia lead the multi-format series 6-4 and can't lose it outright if they win the last ODI in Hobart. Puts them into a really strong position, although they'll be doing it without their new skipper, Sophie Molyneux. Last but not least, in terms of the recaps, New Zealand women up against Zimbabwe women, and again, it was a lopsided one. Isabella Gaze cracked 85 not out, her best ever T20 national score, while Amelia Kerr backed up her century with 82 as she opened for the first time in T20s. The opening stand was massive, 163 for the first wicket, setting up another huge total batting first after they'd hit 202 for one in game one. This time, 196 for one. Zimbabwe never really got going again. The Kiwi bowlers far too good. Only Chadiza Dururu with 20 and one other into double figures, and a middle overs collapse finished it off. New Zealand's newer names took the wickets. Nancy Patel, 2 for 11, Jess Kerr, 2 for 17, and Kaylee Knight, 2 for 25 on debut. New Zealand securing a 110-run victory, bowling out Zimbabwe for 86. The series is all locked up at 2-0 with one game to play, and then the 3 one-dayers to follow. Of course, before we leave it, we wouldn't be a full episode of World Cup Daily without our preview, and the preview is Sri Lanka and Pakistan for the T20 World Cup. This one's a little juicy, as we alluded to earlier. Pakistan, they need to get the job done here and get it done by a big margin to overcome the net run rate deficit. They need to win by about 64 runs or chase the target in roughly 13.1 overs to overhaul New Zealand's net run rate. The tactical question is, do Pakistan finally ditch that middle over cruise control pattern they go about? Babar Azam and Salman Ali Agha have been under the microscope for their tempo. This is the sort of equation that punishes anything conservative. It's boom or bust for Pakistan. For Sri Lanka, their mindset, well, they're out, but they're not interested in being anyone's stepping stone, and they can have fun playing the spoiler. They'll love a chance here to drag their subcontinental rivals Pakistan down with them. Watch for Dunath Walalaj, right-hand heavies Pakistan top order, gives him early match value if Sri Lanka use him in the power play again. The big levers that Pakistan need to pull on. Sahibzada Farhan needs another fast start. He's absolutely been the star of this Pakistani batting lineup. They need scoreboard violence, not 150 grind if they're batting first. Watch the selections for Pakistan. Shaheen Sharafreddy will likely hold down his spot after a good spell against England. Seam balance could come down to Naseem Shah versus Salman Mirza, depending on how much bite they expect out of the deck early. The batting shake-up is the real question. Do they roll the dice on Khawaja Nafai to give them some extra explosive power hitting? It'll be the same Pallachelli surface as England versus Pakistan. It offered some early movement and some help for pace. Still not going to be the easiest deck to go out there and win on by a strong margin, but Pakistan know what the narrative is that they need to set. They know exactly what the numbers are they need to achieve. It is all within their doing, but can they do it, or will Sri Lanka be the stick in the spokes? Well, that's your daily dose for today on the World Cup, 28th of February. Big thanks for you for tuning in. Make sure if you haven't already, hit subscribe on the channel, hit like on the video, and drop us a comment to let us know what you're seeing coming through from this World Cup and who's going to take it out. And of course, make sure to check out our social media for your sports shorts at The Chris Mack Show. You can find us on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, on X. But until next time, a huge thank you to you for tuning into your home of the Black and White of Sports. No great opinions here.